Very good evening to all brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. Today is the 14th March 2023. It's a Tuesday class. So we'll be starting our usual Puja soon. Okay, let us compose our mind, develop the faith, then develop the Saddha, Virya. Mindfully we shall commence the Puja offering, followed by the Puja chanting. Let us rejoice with the offering. Sadhu, 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 sadhu. Nam mô Bổn Sư释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无阿弥陀佛，南无阿弥陀佛，南无阿弥陀佛，南无弥勒佛，南无弥勒佛。南无弥勒佛，南无普贤菩萨，南无普贤菩萨，南无普贤菩萨，南无地藏王菩萨，南无地藏王菩萨，南无地藏王菩萨，南无佛菩萨，南无佛菩萨，南无佛菩萨。Arahang Sama Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivademi Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasami Supatipano Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Sanghang Namami Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa Buddhang Saranang Gacchami Dhammang Saranang Gacchami Sanghang Saranang Gacchami Dutiyampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami Dutiyampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami Dutiyampi Sanghang Saranang Gacchami Tatiyampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami Tatiyampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami Tatiyampi Sanghang Saranang Gacchami Panatipata Viramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Adinadana Viramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Kamesu Miccācara Viramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Musawada Viramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Surameraya Majjapamadatthana Viramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Padipa Puja, offerings of likes. Kanda Sarapaditena Dipena Tamadang Sina ติโลกาติปังสัมบุตตังปูจายามิตโมนุดังกันดาสัมบารยุเทนะดุเปนะหังสุขังหินาปูจาเยปูจานิยังตังปูจาบัจานะโมตตมังวันนากันดากุโนเปตังเอตังกุสุมาสันทตินปูเจยามิโมนินดัสสะสิริปาดาสโรโรเฮปูจามิปุตตังกุสุเมนาเนนะปุณเนนะมะเตนะเชโหตุโมกังปุปังเมลายติยตาอิดังเมกายโยตตายติวินาสบาวังอาดิวาเสโตโนบันเตปานิยังปริกาภิทังอานุคัมปังอุปาดายะปาติกันหาตุโมตตมังอาดิวาเสโตโนบันเทปาเลปริกาภิทังอานุคัมปังอุปาดายะปาติกันหาตุโมตตมังอาดิวาเสโทโนบันเตโบจานังปริกาปิตังอานุคัมปังอุปาดายะปาติกันหาตุโมตตมัง We shall chant the Puja Aspiration based on our understanding of the significance of all these Puja offerings. Significance of offering of light. May this offering of light to the Buddha brings forth the causes and conditions to illuminate our mind and help arise the needed clarity and understanding to dispel all darkness or ignorance therein. Significance of offering of water. May this offering of pure, clear, cool water lead us to the pure, clear Dhamma that cools and doses off the fires of all defilements within our mind. Significance of offering of incense. May our morality, virtue, and understanding shine forth far and wide, just like the fragrance of this incense which we are offering to the Blessed One, who is perfect in wisdom and virtue. Significance of offering of fruits. May this offering of fruits remind us of the Dana Parami of generosity and the fruit of our karma, so that we will diligently strive on with heedfulness to attain the path and fruition soon as possible. Significance of offering of flowers. May this constant offering of flowers to the Blessed One strengthen our faith and constantly remind us of the impermanence of this body, so that we will diligently and sincerely strive on to cultivate Sila, Samadhi, and Panya, leading to ultimate liberation, free Nibbana. Making of oral aspiration. By the power of all these merits, these offerings, may our spiritual faculties of Saddha, Virya, Sati, Samadhi, and Panya be further strengthened until they become balas or powers. And finally is a sharing and transfer merits to all beings. May these merits be shared and transferred to all beings without exception, especially to those who have the condition and affinity to receive them. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, let us pay respect to Puja. Buddhang Pujayami. Dhammang Pujemi. Sanghang Pujemi. Just relax body and mind. Then view off the light so that we can have our half an hour of awareness-based meditation. Remember the 4 support to develop this awareness-based meditation. The first 3 support are most important. Then after that, when you have developed them, when your awareness nature is already stable, then you can go for the 4th support, which normally cultivators do much later. So the first 3 support, you have to reflect, contemplate, and develop the understanding. Then you will do well. So to develop the quick understanding, you should read the unit code. The unit code that we printed, that one can help you understand what the awareness nature is. And also explain the 4 support inside there. The first support, which is relax, need to be clearly understood. Relax means completely relax body and mind, so that your mind and your body is completely at ease. Relax and at ease means no issue, no problem, nothing. You are just peaceful, happy, and in a state of relaxed inner awareness that is tranquil and still. But most people, because their spiritual faculty before they develop this meditation are not stable. Instead, they have the opposite 5 mental hindrance. That's why they are not able to develop this meditative state within. So this mental hindrance, as the word defines, they are mind state that hinders your mind from entering the meditative state of inner peace, inner calmness, and inner awareness. So because of that, the mental hindrance create thinking, create the reaction of mind, the stirring of mind, the habitual tendency, all those things. All this you will not see unless you are aware, mindful in the midst of life. So to develop this mindfulness within, or awareness within, then stabilizing it is very important. That's why after you relax, if you have not stabilized it, then the second support is maintain awareness. When you maintain awareness, you are able to just develop that inner awareness to be aware. Whatever arises within your form and mind, especially the 6th sense door, aware, finish, aware, finish. Then after that, you can move on to the 3rd support. The 3rd support is to stabilize this awareness within. Technically, we call it 24-hour awareness. So that this awareness nature within that we have started to develop, or you have developed, can be stabilized. So relax, maintain awareness. Then the 3rd support is to stabilize it. Stabilize it means don't try to know, don't try to do anything. Every moment you are aware, you relax into it. Aware, relax into it. Then, because you just aware and allow the mind to cease. That's why I use the word aware, finish. Don't try to know, don't try to do anything. So that this awareness continue to arise and stabilize. If you can be patient enough to do it often, and you know how to relax into it, then all of your thinking, your sankhara activity or mental movement, they will start to slow down, slow down. And if you are relaxed and mindful enough, you can observe them slowing down. Then you will reach a state of tranquility or stillness. Suddenly the mind becomes like very quiet, very still. We call that the shift in consciousness. Your consciousness develops the shift to become very quiet, very still. When there is no more sankhara, no more thinking, the natural state of mind, which is the true mind, which is the awareness nature, they will surface. That's how you realize it. So the beginning of meditation is the beginning of the development of this awareness nature within. With this awareness, we can understand many things. We can observe many things. We can also use it to insight into phenomena, to awaken to the three universal characteristics of nature. So the silent observation of what is going on within the moment is very important. And you can develop the awareness to observe using the silent mind without any distraction from your memory, your accumulated views, opinions, conditionings, and belief system. So when the thought and the memory does not interfere in what you observe, then the observation becomes the direct seeing. Means you see things as they are, without the mind coming in to interpret, to develop the wrong perception, the wrong reaction, to stir your mind, to create movement, which we call duality. So when the mind reacts to sense experience or stir, it's because we have our views, opinion, and conditioning coming out from memory to actually cause us to behave in that manner. So the awareness nature that observe all this will start to understand clearly how we actually function as a human being, how we react to sense experience, how we stir our mind, how we get ourselves entangled with delusion, thereby arising suffering, born of wrong thought, deluded thought. So all this understanding will surface. When you understand all this through direct seeing and observation, then you become different. You develop that type of understanding which is very penetrative. Then you start to contemplate and reflect. Why must I live life that way? Why must I stir my mind and react to sense experience so habitually? Why must life be so full of agitation, conflict, stress, sorrow, lamentation, emotion? If you are able to understand all this, then the inquiry or the understanding will be able to transform you. Through this understanding, you will inquire further to straighten your view. How can I not react and stir my mind? How can I be at peace with all things, with all that happen within nature? If I can do that, then this mind, which is just awareness within, without the views, opinion, and conditioning, will be very peaceful. Then you will start to understand our original state of mind before the stirring and the reaction due to our wrong view is already the true mind, the silent mind, the meditative mind. So technically, we only need to understand all this through our direct seeing and observation to awaken. And when we awaken, we straighten our view, then we return to our true mind, which is the original state before the arising of thought. So when you can stabilize your awareness nature and develop more and more stability and understanding of the awareness nature within, then you will come to clearly understand the beauty of that true mind, the silent mind, the meditative mind, that can bring forth so much understanding, love, peace, compassion, tranquility, stillness, clarity. So all this will become your right understanding, your right view, leading to wisdom. It is wisdom that liberates the mind, nothing else. Without wisdom, you cannot find peace. You cannot develop the understanding to be at peace with all things within nature. You all can slowly, mindfully come out of the meditation and just try to maintain whatever inner peace, inner calmness, and inner awareness that you have developed for as long as you can. Invocation to the Devas. In this universe, in their entirety, let the deities and Devas come here. Let them hear the good teachings of the King of Sages, which gives heaven and release. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. Samanta Chakawalesu Atra Gachantu Devata Saddamang Munirajasa Sunantu Sakamokadang Dhamma Sharing Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Sharing Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Sharing Kalo Ayang Badanta Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Iti Piso Bhagava Arahang Samma Sambuddho Vijacharana Sampanno Sugato Lokavido Anuttaro Purisa Dhamma Sarati Satta Deva Manusanang Buddho Bhagavati Suakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sanditiko Akaliko Ehipaseko Opanaiko Pachatang Veditadbo Enohiti Supatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Ujjapatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Nyāyapatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Samicipatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Yadidang Chatari Purisa Yogani Atta Purisa Pugala Esa Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Ahuneyo Pahuneyo Dakeneyo Anjali Karaneyo Anutarang Punyang Ketang Lokasati Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu. We will be continuing from this book, the wonderful Dhamma Lotus Flower Sutra, Volume 3, Chapter 2. The Sutta. If when I met with living beings, I taught them just the Buddha path, those lacking wisdom would be puzzled, confused. They would not accept the teaching. So this part, before the commentary, there is some short heading. The mentioning of the 5 abilities, then the general explanation of the obstacle of the 5 abilities. Okay, now we go to the commentaries. The sutta say, if when I met with living being, meaning previously it said, leading them into the Buddha path. The Buddha had led living beings to opening, demonstration, awakening, and entering of the Buddha's knowledge and vision. In these lines, the Buddha is talking about himself. He has rightly certified to the 8 great freedom of the self. The first one is, one body can manifest limiting bodies. That is, one Buddha can turn into countless numbers of Buddha. And the second ability is, one body the size of a mote of dust can completely fill the great 1,000-world system. Why? It is because it is free. Then number 3, the third ability is, the Buddha body can lightly float to distant places. For example, it can lightly float just like a balloon right up into space. The balloon can fly a long way to distant places. The balloon, however, is just an analogy. Actually, there is just this free and wondrous functioning of the Buddha's spiritual penetration, which enables him to rise lightly in the air and travel to very distant regions. Number 4, he can manifest limitless kind of living beings, which always dwell together in one land. Then number 5, all the sense faculties may be used interchangeably. I explain this when I lecture the Surangama Sutta. This one is by Master Hsuan. The eyes can eat and the ear can talk. The 6 sense organ, eye, ear, nose, tongue, body and mind, all function with the functions of the other 5. Each organ can be used in 6 ways. The eyes can see and hear. They can also eat and taste. They all can be used interchangeably. Would you say this is wonderful or not? And the 6th ability is, he obtained the suchness of all Dhamma without the thought of Dhamma. Dhamma are empty. The 7th ability is, the meaning of one verse may be explained throughout limitless eons. The doctrine contained in a single verse may be explained for limitless, boundless great eons, and still the meaning will not have been explained to the end. Then the last, or the 8th ability is, the body pervades all places like space. Although it fills all places, it is just like emptiness or empty space. When I explain the Surangama Sutta, this one is according to Hsuan, I said that the Buddha was nowhere present and nowhere not present. What would you say he is? Sorry, where would you say he is? He is everywhere. Where would you say he is not? He is nowhere at all. So this one is just the description. Yeah? In fact, the oneness nature means that nature is the oneness nature, means it is the entire existence. That's why it can be everywhere, and yet you can also say it is nowhere, because when it chooses not to manifest, it doesn't exist. But when it chooses to manifest, it is the oneness nature. That's why it's everywhere. Okay, then we go on to the actual explanation through the commentaries. We say that the Buddha is like empty space. What does that mean? Take a look at empty space. It has no shape or form. The Buddha's body fills all places in the same way. We are all living in the substance of the Buddha's spirit. The Buddha is like a big person who fills up the space between heaven and earth. We live on the Buddha's body and the way small bugs live in ours. Sometimes, when we do not bathe for a long period of time, we might get lice. In northern China, they had tiny lice and fleas. But the lice and fleas do not know what the people they live on are like. They cannot see the people, even though they are living right on their bodies. We dwell in the Buddha's Dhamma body in the same way. We cannot see it. Why not? It is because we are right within it. In China, there's a saying, why cannot you see the face of Lu Mountain? It is because you are standing on Lu Mountain. Lu Mountain in Jiangxi is one of China's most famous scenic spots. It has a lovely view, verdant forests, and breathtaking waters. Why can't you see Lu Mountain? It is because you are standing right on it. If you back away from it, you will be able to see it. And why can't you see the Buddha's Dhamma body? It's because we are contained within it. Basically, there is not a place that is outside the Buddha Dhamma's body. That is why there is no way we can get outside of it. Then how can we see the Buddha's Dhamma body? We must apply effort in cultivating the way. When we accomplish Buddhahood and are one, non-dwell with the Buddha, we will know what the rhyme of the Buddha's Dhamma body is like. The Buddha has attained the 8 great freedoms of the self. He teaches and transforms living beings according to his intent, and however he speaks the Dhamma, he is correct. Then the next part of the sutta, I taught them just the Buddha path. So the Buddha uses the miraculous functioning of his spiritual penetration, the 8 great freedoms of the self. Those lacking wisdom will be puzzled. Although the Buddha is compassionate in teaching and transforming living beings, those without wisdom, the dull people, cannot understand him. If he teach them the one vehicle, they would surely misunderstand him. So deluded people, no matter what you tell them, always waver between doubt and belief. Why do they waver? Confused, they would not accept the teaching. Means they are too deeply submerged in their own confusion. When you speak the Buddha Dhamma to them, they are not able to accept it. Everyone can know the events of his or her past life. You can know what you did in the past. How can you know? Take stock of yourself. Take a look at yourself the way you are now. If you have a great deal of compassion, then in former life, you did not kill many living beings. You did not violate the precept against taking life. Having a compassionate heart just means that you do not have a temple. You look upon everyone as if you would your own blood relatives. You cherish others as you cherish yourself. If you have that kind of compassion, it means that in former lives, you did not kill. If you do not have compassionate concern for living beings, then in the past, you did kill. It is like taking a look at yourself in the mirror to see how you look like or what you look like. If you are extremely hateful, then in your past life, you killed living beings. Those who like to kill have big temper and a great deal of violent energy. From these two indications, you can figure out your own sets of causes and conditions. You can know what you did in previous life by looking at what you are doing now. So a few days ago, some soldier came to visit and they asked Hsuan, "Do you believe that people can become animals?" I say, if you act like an animal, you are an animal. If you act like a person, you are a person. You do not have to worry about what you will become in the future. If in this present life you do things that animals do, then you are an animal. If you do the deeds people do, then you are a person, a human being. If you do the deeds of a bodhisattva, you are a bodhisattva. If you observe the precept of a bodhisattva and practice the bodhisattva way, then you are a bodhisattva, although you are just a junior bodhisattva. One who has newly brought forth the bodhisattva resolve. If you do the act of a Buddha, you are a Buddha. If you snake around like a ghost, then you will become a ghost. Just take a look at what you do. Everything is made from the mind alone. 一切为心造. There is a principle at work here. Then one more paragraph afterwards I will explain using my own understanding. How is it that you are able to come here and listen to the Buddha Dhamma? It's because in former life you believe in Buddhism, and so now you like to hear the sutta lecture. Those without good roots will hear the lecture and think, "There's a lot of nonsense, how boring," and run off. So you see, everyone can have the penetration of knowledge of past life. So this is Hsuan's way of interpreting. Actually, if you follow what the law of karma expresses, then you can understand it very clearly in a slightly different manner, because the way Hsuan gives as an example is not that comprehensive and clear. As we all know, this law of karma is actually very complicated, very complex. And to truly understand it, you need a lot of extensive cultivation, perfection, and wisdom. So, like within the essential Dhamma that the Buddha has taught us, we already can have the understanding of a few key points about the law of karma. The Buddha said, under the fifth daily contemplation. We are all born our karma, heir to our karma, conditioned and supported by our karma. And we are what we are because of karma. So if that is the case, then it's very easy to know very likely what our past lives are. Although it cannot be very specific, but roughly the big picture must have those key criteria that manifest the outcome of what you are now. Because we are all born our karma, heir to our karma, conditioned and supported by our karma, and we are what we are because of our karma. Then the other thing is, you reap what you sow. Do good because good, do evil because evil. You plant the seed of wholesomeness, you will reap the karmic fruit of wholesomeness. You plant the seed of evil, you will reap the fruit of evil. So all these are very clear. So the moral causation is what karma is all about. Your mental intention behind everything you do. If in the past you have a lot of delusion, you don't have affinity with the triple gem, then all of your action, speech and thought process will be mostly deluded, born of heedless thinking, born of ignorant delusion. And because of that, you commit a lot of evil acts, evil speeches, and evil thought processes. So your action, speech, and thought process will have the three evil roots of greed, hatred, and delusion. And all these are root of evil. The Buddha called it the three evil roots. So these three evil roots, because they are the root of all evil, that's why as a cultivator of the way, we have to root it out. Otherwise we suffer. Otherwise it will condition the way we entangle ourselves. So these three evil roots of greed, hatred, and delusion, born of avijja or moha, means ignorance and self-delusion, they need to be understood. So the first evil root is greed, or in Pali the Buddha called it lobha. What is lobha? Lobha are all our, not only greed alone, all of our craving, positive craving, our desire, our covetousness, our selfishness. All these are within the scope of lobha, or we call it greediness and selfishness. So when we have this covetousness, when we have this grasping, clinging, selfishness, greediness, to own things, to take things, to steal and to deceive, to possess, to control. All these are within the evil roots of lobha. So lobha is all our greediness, our desire, our covetousness, our craving, especially those very strong craving, becoming, and all those things that leads to possession, ownership. So that springs from the self-delusion, that belief we exist. There is a being that can own things, that can have things, that can hold on to things, grasp on to things. Then we believe we exist. This is me, this is I, therefore all this can be mine. Our prized possession, our wealth or property, everything that you hold on to dearly. So your desire, your craving your attachment, your clinging, your grasping, they are all covered under this evil roots of lobha. So in life, as we go through life and existence, most people without the Dhamma, they will have a lot of this possessiveness, this selfishness, this greed, this covetousness, and all this, what they call evil roots of lobha, manifesting all along. And because of that, it triggers off karmic negativity. So like the essential Dhamma explained, we are born our karma, heir to our karma, conditioned, supported by our karma. And we are what we are because of karma. So if you do all this so-called negative thing, born of this evil roots of greed, so what happens is when you cheat people, deceive people, scam people, or steal from people, or plunder and all those things, you reap what you sow. So in future, when you take birth, wherever there is condition, it will manifest. That's why you look at your life, you have a tendency to lose whatever you earn through your maybe career or hard work. It is a sign that you have misappropriated a lot of things in the past. And the way the condition arises for you to lose it and make you miserable and suffer reflect how you cause suffering to other beings in the past. So you can see it. That's why whenever things go wrong, my advice is don't be deluded. Don't get angry, don't react, and don't become miserable. Because the more you react, the more you become miserable. This karmic negativity will continue to have power to actually cause you more suffering. You need to develop the wisdom to reverse it. And the wisdom to reverse it is to have that right view that the Buddha talked about. Right view in regards to the law of karma. You reap what you sow. Do good begets good, do evil begets evil. Since my life is almost entirely related to karma, because we are born of our karma, heir to our karma, conditioned, supported by our karma, and we are what we are because of our karma. If that is the case, then we have to accept this reality. Like the Buddha said, whatever that arises or happen, there are causes and conditions behind. And what can these causes and conditions be? That's why Asaji told Sariputta, he said, whatever that arises, there are causes and conditions behind. And these causes and conditions behind, the Buddha has explained to us. So you read the scripture, the first part which was described by me just now, you may not understand what are the causes and conditions behind. But you combine the two, the essential Dhamma that I explained earlier on, then you will know most likely is karmic related. That's why karma is the main thing in life. If you don't take care of karma, nothing works. Your life will become entangled, miserable. You will have to go through all the suffering, misery. You got no choice because you reap what you sow. Do good begets good, do evil begets evil. So whatever you plant in the past, they will manifest as karmic vipaka or karmic friction to haunt you. Or sometimes if it's wholesomeness, then to benefit you. So that is what life is all about. So you want to know your past, you look at what you are doing now, how your life unfolds. If you can have the good life, like most of us Kayamitas, of course, even though you may have a lot of good aspect of life following you, but in between, most people will still have some form of karmic that they have to pay back. But relatively, we are already considered very lucky, very fortunate, and very blessed in the sense that we have the Buddha Dharma behind us. The wisdom that enables us to have the good Dana Parami and karmic inheritance that enable us to have all these good conditions so that we don't have to face life like most of the deluded people, heedless people that have a lot of suffering, a lot of misery. So all this, if we look at life, then we can understand. That's why my nature can understand many things, is because it has this understanding from the past. So I only need to know how life unfolds in you, how you get yourself entangled and messed up, then my nature will know roughly how you get yourself into all this possibility. The actual happening may vary, but the important key factor that lead to this must be there. That's how I can explain all this to people. Then offer them an answer or a solution to what happened. Then from there, if they have the faith, they understand, they can actually break free and recover. And the recovery is always through the three ways that I have been teaching Kalyanamittas for so long. The first way is like what the Buddha shared with all the monks at that time, or the disciples and the devotees. The first thing you need to do is to develop the wisdom and the right view to accept what happened. Because what happened is the reality. You cannot change. Like the Buddha said, whatever arises, there are causes and conditions behind. And most of the time, it is related to karmic because of the fifth daily contemplation that the Buddha wants us to contemplate and reflect every day. So once this is understood, the acceptance with right view will free us. Then we do not deludedly stir our mind, react to what happened. We no longer get angry, blame, envy, jealousy, all the evil root will not arise anymore. Because when we understand that it is coming, you reap what you sow. In the past, you have done all this wrong thing. That's why now causes and conditions arise for you to be afflicted or confronting all this. Then what must you do? You have to accept this reality, have clarity of mind, then be at peace with what happened, because reacting to all this got no meaning. When you do to people, you never need think of all this. But when the karmic repercussion hit back, you ask yourself, why me? How come these people are so evil, so terrible, so greedy, so selfish, so full of violence and all those things? No point, understand? Because this is coming. You reap what you sow. So acceptance will enable us to be at peace with the moment, the reality within the moment, with life, with existence. When we are at peace, our mind do not react and stir, so there is no movement of emotion leading to more negativity. But if you do this, then it's like having the power to break free. But not completely free yet. You only break free within that moment. Means you come to terms with the reality, with that wisdom, you straighten your view, you accept. Then you do the three things. First, you do what you have to do. Ask for forgiveness or seek repentance. Like the way I teach you all. Whomsoever from the distant past, whether knowingly or unknowingly, that this nature of ours or of yours had done out to them any karmic negativity that trigger of any harm, suffering, misery, or misled and all those things. This nature of ours would like to sincerely ask for forgiveness, and we vow from now onward not to repeat all this by following the advice of the Buddha. So the second step is very important. Following the advice of the Buddha to avoid all evil means we keep our precepts. We straighten our view, we keep our precepts. Then we cultivate wholesomeness, following Noble Eightfold Path. Then we meditate to realize the wisdom so that we can break free from the conditioned world. When you do this, you are following the advice of the Buddha, means you cultivate and develop a lot of merits, wholesomeness, and wisdom and understanding. So this is what cultivation is all about. Then with these merits and even blessings and wisdom that you have developed, you can invoke power of merits. The third way, power of merit for causes and conditions to recover from all this suffering and misery, to gain back your life so that you can continue to cultivate and move on, to resolve whatever amicably, so that in future all this will not come and haunt you, create suffering or misery in you. So just now I just complete explaining the evil roots of greed. So likewise, the other two evil roots of hatred and sakkayaditthi or self-delusion also very powerful. Hatred is the opposite of greed. Means all your envy, your jealousy, your anger, your violence, your hatred, your whatever negative tendency and negative craving. All this, even related to all your wrong speech. The wrong speech are very powerful, good and bad. If it's the wrong speech that is bad, then karmically it will come back to you. So if you are used to violent, speak harshly, harsh speech, angry, violent speech, you will get it back. Especially in the career field or in your life, you will get back from nasty people who will do the same thing to you. Then the other one is telling lie, deceitful. Then after that is backbiting, saying things that are untrue behind people's back, means cause people's reputation to be affected, mislead people. They use there is a word, the Malay word is fitna. English word is what? What is the English word? Means you say
Slander, is it, Brother?
slander. Not only slander. It's more strong than slander. Actually, slander is one of the correct words. But fitna means you say the reverse thing of what people do. And all these are like very negative type of wrong speech. Then the other one is, of course, less serious, but also need to be mindful of, is the frivolous speech. You simply say things that you think is sweet nothing, or what they call frivolous. Means to you it's like a joke, but when it manifests, it depends on who you deal with. It can be very severe. So all these are negativity of the evil roots of hatred. Then when it comes to sakkayaditthi, or self-delusion, the third evil root of delusion or moha, whatever delusion that condition you to do all those things, normally lead to fear, worry, anxiety, sorrow, lamentation, insecurity, phobia, panic attack, and all these things. That's why all these are the evil roots of scarcity, self-delusion. So if you in your life you see a lot of such things happening to you, means through your delusion you must have caused a lot of suffering and misery to fellow living beings. And most people that go through life with a lot of such negative result, you will be able to conclude that in the past you have been doing a lot of this karmic negativity that resulted in all this. That's why if you want to know your past, you look at how your life unfolds this life, or in future life. Then if you want to know what your future will be, you have to look at your life, actually every life, what you are doing within that segmented life. Because life after life, all this will accumulate as your karmic nature. And this karmic nature is the stream of cause and effect that will evolve into your future. So like the Buddha said, this karmic nature, decide, you are born of your karma, heir to this karma, conditioned and supported by this karmic nature. And you are what you are because of this karmic nature that keep on evolving, conditioning. That's why developing all the movement, the causes and condition behind the friction of all your past action, speech, and thought process. So if you know this law of karma, you will take care. You will not be heedless anymore. So this is a very important understanding. Then the other one is, apart from having this right view in regards to law of karma, is the law of mind. When you meditate, develop mindfulness, and have the ability to understand the law of mind, means citta niyama, then you will know how you function as a living being, as a human being. You will know who are you, what are you, and how mind manifests. That's why just now in the sutta we read through one part. All this you can come to know your past, present, and future is because mind is the forerunner of all things. Mind is chief. When mind arises, everything arises. That's why the Mahayana have a famous saying, 一切唯心造, means everything created by the mind, arise from the mind. Means the mind created them through karmic, through mental intention, through the law of mind. Then the last aspect of the spiritual right view is Dhamma Niyama, means essential Dhamma, means the nature's law of truth. Dhamma is truth, basic spiritual truth, as taught by Sakyamuni Buddha under his teaching. That's why all the essential Dhamma taught by him are the third spiritual law. He called it Dhamma Niyama. First is Karma Niyama, the law of karma, the nature's order of karma. Then Citta Niyama, order of mind. Then Dhamma Niyama, the order of truth, nature's truth, essential Dhamma. So all these three, when you master them, you will understand life. Then when you understand life, you will know how to live life. Then your life will be beautiful. Then you can actually develop the wisdom, the blessing, the merits, the wholesomeness, and the understanding to truly manifest when you come into this existence. It can be as a human being or as a bodhisattva. Yeah. Then when you are able to have this, your life becomes beautiful, meaningful. This is what the third phase of Dhamma is all about. Pativeda. Yeah. You get to reap all the hard work that you have put in the cultivation. Means you get to live the life of an enlightened being. The noble ones. So these are the understanding that we need for us to actually understand life, and from there move on to develop all the related understanding to perfect ourselves life after life, so that whenever we come, we will have that wisdom, the understanding and the blessing to protect our segmental life from falling. And at the same time, life becomes meaningful, wonderful, so that you can live life to the fullest. And we get to experience all of the pristine beauty and wonders of life, moment to moment. Then life becomes not only meaningful, but extremely wonderful and amazing. Okay, we go back to the notes. I will mark this page because 9:40 already. Okay, we are at page 449. Continue with our second session, which is meditation reporting, followed by whatever question you may have and sharing on Dhamma in daily life.
Okay, hi, evening everybody.
Yeah.
I was at the retreat, online retreat.
Ajahn.
So it was because you practice consistently a few times a day.
Very good.
So the mind is clearer.
Sadhu.
But there was one point. There was a disagreement.
Okay.
There was a disagreement. Then, but I didn't see at that point in time. They say I reacted. I reacted, and I defended myself and said, "Why this and why that?" But then after that, I went and meditated, and after the meditation was quite good this time. I think that it was very quiet. The mind was very quiet.
That is a good sign. Sadhu.
Then the event that happened came back. I started. The thought came back. And then when the thought came back, then I realized I was I reacted.
Sadhu.
I reacted.
That's why with mindfulness you can see when you are more calm, more quiet, your mind have clarity. Then that thought, that surface, you can recollect, and then you can see clearly. Well, when you are caught in the emotion that time, you didn't realize. Most people will not realize. Just like just宣化shared, if you are standing on Lu Mountain, you cannot see the face of Lu Mountain because you are standing on it. So when you are caught with your emotion, your movement of thought, your views, opinion, your conditioning, you cannot have the ability to know unless you are aware within. When you are aware within, all this movement become very clear to you. That's why when you are quiet, peaceful, calm, when you are in a meditative state, when you reflect or when it surfaces, sometimes it just surfaces because this is something for you to understand. Then, like most of the Dhamma cultivator or Dhamma practitioner, Kayamita, who has gone through, it will arise the understanding for you so that you can see how you get yourself entangled. Because like I explained just now, no need to react, understand? Whatever happened is the reality at that moment. But most people may not have the wisdom to realize that understanding at that time. So because of that, most cultivators of the way have to go through the cultivation in stages, like what Yoon Chan is going through. Is today one is the sharing is very good, because you don't go through, you will not know. And actually this type of reaction or behavior is from your habitual tendency, which you have quite a lot. When I go with you on spiritual trip, I saw them manifesting many times. Raymond very patient with you and very kind and very close to you, help you a lot. But I saw this habitual tendency keep on coming up, yes? But now less already. In the past, it was very strong. Now much less already. So with this meditative experience that you experience, it will help you to slowly develop the second turning wisdom to stabilize the understanding. Then finally, when you have the third turning wisdom, you can root it out. You can root it out. But this second turning wisdom will reduce the tendency. Reduce the tendency means the next time when you want to stir and react and do all these things, the awareness, the Yoniso Manasikara will spring forth to remind you. Thing is just the way it is, no? Or this is the way nature is. Different people behave differently. Deluded people do deluded things. Selfish people do selfish things. Greedy people do greedy things. Violent people do violent things. They are just the way they are. The world is the world. People are just... And then this understanding will stabilize. Then you can be at peace, even at retreat or whatever. If you want to express yourself, manifest, to maybe share something or what, then you know how to do it differently. But you will not react and you will not stir. You will accept what happened first. And then after that, you will present your understanding and your viewpoint. All this will be like stage by stage. You can develop it and you can actually move forward to develop deeper and more stable wisdom and understanding to help you progress along the path of Dhamma as you cultivate. Very good. You continue. Sorry for the interruption.
Nothing much to continue. It's just that didn't get the
in the meditation you saw it. In the meditation you saw it, isn't it? That seeing
not
it.
At the point that
definitely. Because initially it's like that. Like I said, you are still without the awareness that is stable to observe it, to see the movement. You are not sensitive enough because you are like standing on the island, the mountain of Lu. So when you are in the mountain, you cannot see what is down there, understand? No? Because you are just a small thing beyond the whole thing. So the whole of Sankara movement, the emotion, the reaction, the stirring, all this, the reaction of mind, is what habitual tendency is. And it is so strong, it has been there for so long. So like you are caught in it, in the mountain of Lu. That's why you cannot realize what is happening. But even after people point out to you, you may not really understand it until you go into the meditation. And then when it surfaces, then you like, suddenly, how come now you can see, you have overreacted, understand? Or you have developed that type of habitual stirring of mind, to react to certain things that happen. Your viewpoint, you hold on to your viewpoint quite strongly. That is the reason why habitual tendency develop. That's why the Buddha said knowledge bind. That viewpoint comes from our knowledge. We have been trained, we have been conditioned to believe that this is right. You cannot do this. Then whenever you see this, you will manifest it. Like last time, my wife also, he got a type of, when people point finger, is it wrong? You cannot, because that was the conditioning, the upbringing. Don't point finger, rude, and all those things. Then like some people, I remember in my Chambaka class, there was one lady from outside suddenly joined the group. He tell of Ching Hun. But Ching Hun, that time quite old, 70 plus. Her leg, she cannot cross leg, so she straightened it out and point directly at me and the Buddha. Then that lady, I think the lady commented, "This is very rude," until Cheng Hun cannot meditate. Cheng Hun got very angry that after the meditation class. Before I even say anybody want to report meditation, she straight away put up her hand and complain about this. So these are what we call rigid views born of habitual tendency that the cultivator of the way or the living being, without them knowing, they already develop that conditioning. Because that conditioning is very strong, the belief system, the views, the opinion. When you hold on to it rigidly, whether through belief or tradition or whatever, it becomes a duality that will haunt you and create karmic. This is what you do to people. You tell people, like that lady, in future she will get it from somebody else. So I told Cheng Hun nothing to worry. I said, because this is normal. You reap what you sow. Very likely you were like that lady in the past life that did all this. But I explained to Cheng Hun, I said, you don't have to worry. If the Buddha or the cultivator of the way can be offended by what people do physically, then he is not the Buddha. That means he cannot accept the reality. He cannot be at peace. Then I say, if you live in a condo, if your Buddha statue is down there, up there, or walking above your Buddha, you want to complain or not? Then like the Afghanistan incident, I think many years back, they bombed the Buddha statue, the giant statue, remember? The Buddhist community reacted. This is because of lack of understanding. Condition like that, things will like that. People have that delusion and they don't like your statue. That's why they do all those things. And living being has their emotion, their behavior. Some are really weird. You cannot say or reason with them. No way. That is the way things are. That is the way nature is. Condition like that, things will like that. So in life, we need to actually understand all this deeply so that we can apply across the board, not only to the Buddhist teaching, to whatever that happen in the world, in the universe. Everything that manifests has its causes and condition behind. And when the causes and condition is already fixed, the reality within the moment will unfold that way. Like it or not, it will unfold that way. So we have to accept the reality of the moment. Whatever that arises, there are causes and conditions behind. Means fixed already. You have to accept, otherwise you get into trouble. So that acceptance is wisdom. That's why accord and flow with the nature. After you accept, you don't react, no negativity, there is clarity, then you can act with wisdom. No more acting from memory, using the views, opinion, conditioning to argue, trying to be right, to champion whether your religion or your race. No use, understand? All those has no meaning. The reality within the moment is the most important. How can you resolve things amicably? How can you avoid unnecessary conflict, misunderstanding, and argument? To do that, you need wisdom, born of Dhamma cultivation. That's why we act with wisdom, following Noble Eightfold Path. The Noble Eightfold Path is the meditative path that leads to the end of all suffering. That is the middle way. That is the Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. That is what meditation is all about. So when you can apply the Noble Eightfold Path, then you can free yourself. you can bring about amicable solution. So Noble Eightfold Path is something that needs to be cultivated and understanding developed until very stable. Then only one can apply it. Because Noble Eightfold Path is not easy, I can tell you. When I started, then only I realized how beautiful that teaching is. I remember that time, after 1989, not long, I keep on reflecting and contemplating how to cultivate Noble Eightfold Path, how to develop the clear, stable understanding of Noble Eightfold Path. To develop the sainthood awakening is very easy, even until Arahant state and all the things. But to develop the perfection of the Noble Eightfold Path until you can understand life and live life, I realize a different cultivation, completely different. You have to go into the path factor one by one, understand it. Then all the 8 combine together to manifest into one path. Means the Noble Eightfold Path is not individual 8 path factors separate. No, they all actually is one path, interrelated, network together. Because without the 8 path factor altogether, you cannot manifest as a complete living being that has the understanding to live life and to arise all the appropriate right view, right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, for right effort and right mindfulness and samadhi. All these 8 must be cultivated. Then this Noble Eightfold Path must become a part of you. I always say the embodiment of the Noble Eightfold Path is what you must have. When you have the embodiment of the Noble Eightfold Path, then you will understand life. You will know how to live life. You will become beautiful. Yeah. So all the insight that leads to awakening is just the wisdom part that liberates our mind and free. But to resolve worldly issue, to resolve things amicably, you need Noble Eightfold Path. Because to free yourself not to be involved in the world is relatively a lot easier. But when you are within the world and you want to resolve issue and help people, especially those walking the Bodhisattva way, you need to perfect the Noble Eightfold Path. Otherwise, you cannot have that wisdom and understanding to actually live life and manifest to help people, to help bring about more understanding, less conflict, peace within the nation, within the neighborhood, the country. So all these understanding are very important and very beautiful. So very good, Yuchan, Sadhu, for bringing out such condition. So after you, in your meditation, saw all those things, what did you learn from there? What did you learn from there? Means you saw how you react, all those things, right? You acknowledge them as
my defilements.
Yeah, it doesn't belong to you. Actually, it's not you. It's the wrong thought, the wrong view that reacted. Understand? That's why anger was never you. Defilement was never you. They are dependent originating. Understand? That one need to be clear. Otherwise, you hold on to it. No, my anger, my defilement. No, your nature don't have any of this. It's when ignorant, wrong view, delusion. When they arise, they condition you to get angry. They condition you to react. It's not you. It's dependent originating sankhara mind state. Habitual tendency, yes. Because these are your emotion. Understand? Your mental reaction, emotion. And these are born of wrong view. That's why the Buddha say it's dependent originating. So what you must do is the third way. When you next time aware, saw that movement, you stay with it. Then it dissipates. When it dissipates, then you realize, this defilement come and go. Not intrinsic. It's not within your nature. It's not you. Then why you want to root it out? Actually, no need. You only have to understand. If I don't do anything, I stay with it. That fear, that emotion, that anger, that wrong view cease. By being aware, it ceases. Because this is our true mind. Before the stirring, before the reaction, before you do anything, you're supposed to realize that. Like swimming. The natural tendency of our body is buoyancy. If we already have the buoyancy, means we can float. We don't have to learn how to float. We don't have to struggle to float. Understand that, then confidently you just let things be. Then stay with it. Then it ceases. Or when it ceases, your heart there cool, peaceful. Then you realize everything in life is like that. When I can accept and be with it, I become beautiful. I become peaceful. Then everything ceases. Then you realize, no wonder the Buddha is so wise. Sankara anicang, sankara dukkang. If you don't know that it's anicang, dependent originating, condition arising, causal phenomena, you grasp, you cling, you want things your way, you suffer. That's why sabbe sankara anicang. And because it's anicang, sabbe sankara dukkang. So when you understand this, you break free, then sabbe dhamma anatta. He no you, he no me. No permanent, unchanging entity within. Everything is impermanent, dependent originating. No permanent, unchanging entity within existence. And that realization is a very powerful realization. That's why the Yoniso Manasikara in future, it will arise. It will spontaneously spring forth and let you have the understanding. Sankara anicang, sankara dukkang, then it ceases. Then you will not react already. The emotion, the stirring all cease. But to do that, you need to stabilize your second turning wisdom, and you need to see more of this and stay with it until it ceases. Means the third turning wisdom, awareness based. So awareness based, whenever you got fear, emotion, unhappy mood, or sankara activity, you just silence everything and be with it. Then observe it cease. Do more and more of that. And then you will become very beautiful. Then you will like to meditate. Then every time you meditate, you realize you don't interfere in the world. So initially you have to go through this until that mind becomes very quiet, very peaceful. Then every time you aware and don't do anything, peace arises again. But this is your natural state of mind, your true mind, which has no duality, no words, no concept, nothing. That's why you stay with awareness. That's why our awareness-based meditation is to let you train yourself to develop this stability, so that every time when you stir, you can be with it. And to be with it is not easy unless you have stabilized your awareness nature. That's why mindfulness is very important. Without mindfulness, in the form of meditation and the daily life, you cannot go. You are not sensitive, you are not aware, and the initial wisdom cannot spring forth because you didn't see it, you didn't reflect and contemplate deep into it, and you don't have the understanding to straighten your view. When you have that, this is the beginning. After this, you will continue to progress. Then continue to silence, stay with it, stabilize your awareness, and you will continue to do better and progress better. Sadhu, sadhu. Yeah, rejoice. Anything else, Ginger? Oh, your retreat was how many days?
1 week.
Oh, that's long. Oh, in between? Lunch break, everything on your own.
Because
You all through Zoom, isn't it? You didn't go there. Except Christy and Joyce still over there, I think. Adeline, yes. Yeah, the mic for the recording.
Hello.
Yeah. So Christy, Adeline, and Joyce, they over there.
There are a lot of people because it's organized by Singapore.
Oh, no wonder.
The Singapore team. And the local Thais also attended. They said, I think 90 people.
Oh, big group, huh? Sadhu. Yeah, very good.
Very big group who went.
And that retreat, for your information, something could happen. We are at the end of the retreat. I think Joyce was talking to Acharya, then the condition arose for her to make offering to their, I think, electricity charges, if I'm not wrong. So she pledged for 1 year or don't know what. And because of that, Acharya also the condition to ask her, this offering is from your family or what? He said, yeah, my husband, my daughter, the family. Then Acharya asked, so how is Clifford? He said, your husband. Then I think Joyce spoke a little bit about his condition. He's been diagnosed with a little bit of some, I think, heart condition or what. Then Acharya said, hey, is he coming? He said, yeah, he's flying in tomorrow. Then Acharya said, I will recommend you my heart surgeon, he said, the best physician in Bangkok. And Clifford went, checked. He was very good, diagnosed the thing and advised him to do the procedure there. There and then they did. And he recovered within 2-3 hours after the operation. He recovered. And he was very happy. Then I think they came back. So this was something that is related to the retreat. So we should all rejoice. Sadhu. Because she contacted me when that thing happened and she was full of joy. So I rejoiced with her. I said, don't worry, it's meant to be. Otherwise this thing won't happen. Actually, Clifford supposed to join her for a holiday after the retreat. He ended up having all the conditions to meet face to face with this top cardiologist. And these cardiologists are very difficult to make appointment on. And because of Acharya, he straight away get to see him, then fix the operation the next 1 or 2 days. Very fast because of the condition. Also, I think Acharya must be very famous there.
So Kuan Yin there is very good.
Yeah, very
so
strong.
Whenever we go, we will chant the Heart Sutra and all that.
Yeah, I heard from Chin how they all.
Then this time round, Adeline said, the Western monks, a group of them go chant every day,
Wow, sadhu. In Mandarin?
Yeah.
Not in English,
No, the Heart Sutra.
Yeah, Heart Sutra in Mandarin. There are 2 versions.
Even the Da Bei Zhou also.
Yeah. now the Westerner can chant. They are very good now.
I think with the our young monk.
No, I know the Klang Vision.
Vision. I think Vision must have helped. He was there also chanting.
Yeah. They say Vision was very happy there. A lot of joy. So a lot of things meant to be will be sadhu. Good. So this year you all joined the Zoom retreat. You didn't physically take them there.
I asked Song want to go or not. He
said
India no, he's going to India.
Yeah, India trip. But you all going later, I heard from my wife, Mi Fong, and you all going later.
Yeah, so I asked Mi Fong, she said...
Hey, this time, our Kayamita fund, Stephanie told me a lot of money. So we make donation there. Let us know. We will make donation there.
Oh, okay.
On behalf of all the Kaya Mitas.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Tsuji, can we make through you or not? Tsuji donation.
Can.
Kaya Mita Fund. I will ask Stephanie and Hsuan to liaise with you. So we will donate because this recent MCO over already. A lot of funds come in. Then we don't have our annual retreat. We don't have much donation to make except the standard few things. Then also not like last year, another year we got a flood and all those things. So this year relatively.
You're not going to organize another retreat?
Yeah, we may organize. We may organize, but wait till Pamasuri come back. He's now in China visiting the daughter, I think. So she will be back also another month. By then, I think Chin Hao they all will be back. So the previous retreat, they invited us back in May, I think. So we see.
Are they open?
They're supposed to say by May they will know, but we don't know. We need to get Pamasuri to help us to contact them.
Actually, can ask Miss Lee, but Miss Lee is not around.
Not to say not around, but she don't want to be disturbed. She need to resolve her own internal thing. I think she's okay, except she is having problem with inability to sleep because of the problem that happened. So she need to resolve it herself. I spoke to her actually, and I think it's good that at least we know he is in good hand. So she need to resolve it slowly. Maybe it's coming from the past. She also know she has to go through it. After I talked to her, advised her a bit, she felt so much better. She has a colleague last time together with her from Malaysian cable. You know her, I think, Nancy.
Oh, Nancy. Client.
Huh? Lady.
Huh?
Lady. Her colleague in Malaysian cable. Oh, not that client one. Not that one. This one is her colleague last time while she was working Malaysian cable together. Old friend of 40 years. 30, 40 years. Very good friend. So she happened to one day go there. They met up with her. Then then she came and see me. I think only last week or 1 week past ago. Then after that, I said, is it? Okay, I said, I go with you. Then we managed to contact Miss Lee. So we spoke. Then I find out certain things. Then I was right. There is internal matter she need to resolve. Don't worry. I think she will be okay. She has a parami. She has to go through this. She has to go through this. So don't worry. So sadhu. Okay. So remember the donation. Let us know when you are going. Roughly.
To Ajahn place. Likelihood is
August again.
End August, September.
Okay. Can, no problem.
So waiting for them to come back, they can confirm.
Yeah. They will come back end of the month.
Then can confirm.
Yeah.
When they want to go.
Good. Sadhu. Okay.
Good evening, Brother, Mrs. Chu, and all Kalamitas. Sadhu to Sister Yu Chan, 她终于看到了。
Yeah. She cannot understand. Maybe you got to translate in English.
I still remember many years back when songs tells me, when you can see yourself, you can see others. At that point, I don't really understand what he meant.
Yeah, later.
But actually, for my cultivation, I always put it this way. I always see my all short, how to say,
shortcoming,
short, all
like Yoon
the
said,
bad habits and whatever to, you know,
lack of peace,
refine or, you know, refine it upon or, you know, make it better. Easier way.
Refine upon it and
Yes.
improve ourselves. So that is the beginning of cultivation.
Yeah.
Then
Regarding
our shortcoming, then we can improve on it. We can straighten our view and develop more and more wholesomeness through cultivating the refinement of Noble Eightfold Path factors.
Virgil, Noble Eightfold Path is a very beautiful path. 不容易，但是是一个很好的过程。
对。
You know, everything started from the wrong views.
Yeah,
we always have to see the wrong views that, you know, condition us into, you know, the whole
negativity.
Noble Eightfold Path. It's like, you know, the wrong views comes, everything collapses. Put it that way.
Well, the first path factor is 正见, right?
Yeah.
When your views are wrong, all the other path factor collapse. You cannot move. That's why you have to start off with right view. From right view, the cultivation unfold, the path unfold. And right view is a very powerful understanding. That's why the Noble Eightfold Path, the first path factor the Buddha start off with is right view.
Yeah, Virgil. Actually, I mean, for me, I always
用华语我 translate. No problem.
Okay. 我经常都我所有的 encounter 我都把它当成 part of the way，因为
very important.
没有经过这一切的 training， 我们也不会学到
对，
也不会长一智。我们的所有的 encounter 就是给我们去经过经历，然后看到。然后从中就去思维，然后就是得到 understanding。
对
That's why I always put it that way. That's why despite I mean, for me, I always think that after 60, I want to retire, but then it's not that you know what you wish will come true.
Correct.
I mean,
yes, the condition needs for, but your case, I think, is a blessing in disguise. It's for the good of your family business and your son and your children.
Yeah, Virgil was very blessed, and despite my busy schedule, I feel a lot of joy. Working, you know, like it's a challenge, you know, moment to moment. You see your mind state, you know, whether you get,
磨练啊 they say 磨练。
对，一直在把你自己 train 到 you know perfect 你的所有的 I mean not this life perhaps I think but then maybe through 这个 life 一点 next life 又一点直到我们so 我很 blessed 能够在这个 path 能够知道所有的我们的 awareness 的一切的所有的发生啦，就是你 moment to moment 你知道你自己在做什么，你的想法，你的贪念的所有的哇 you know it's like moment to moment 你在
because the awareness let you see all this 那个正念很重要 the awareness nature within
对，但是我们
那个正念呢 the awareness nature within you become different, you become very sensitive, and you can have the understanding unfolding on its own. That's why mindfulness is most important. Without mindfulness, without the awareness within, you cannot step out of your own deluded egoic mind. It's like you are standing on the Lu mountain or you are entangled with your thought process. Means you cannot come out of it. But with awareness, you can be an observer from outside. That nature observe the movement. You understand what is going on. Then you start to understand who are you, what are you and how you entangle yourself, how you function. This is precisely what meditation is. This is what awareness can bring about to develop the understanding. That's why without awareness, you are as if dead. The heedless are as if dead. True. Without awareness, how can you have apamada, heedfulness? Without awareness and mindfulness, you cannot be heedful. And if you are not heedful, you are as if dead. The heedless are as if dead. And that is a very true statement, very powerful. That's why now you have a lot of joy, because with the awareness, you can see your life clearly, your mind, and you can make decisions. You have choice in life. Without mindfulness, without awareness, you don't have, because you are caught in that delusion, caught in that negativity of defilement and all those things. And the whole thing like clouded. Your nature never manifests. And when your nature never manifests, it's like those who are deluded. They cling on to the wrong thought, the wrong view. Then they always believe they still have anger, they still have defilement, they are deluded. They don't have the understanding also, not knowing that all these are dependent originating, condition arising, causal phenomena, manifest from the mundane mind. And the mundane mind is dependent originating, not your true mind. These are all sankhara activity. That's why the Buddha says, Sabbe sankhara anicca. Then you attach, cling, and give meaning. Sabbe sankhara dukkhaṃ. All this become very clear to the cultivator of the way. Then you will come to know, because they are dependent originating. It's not a permanent, unchanging entity. That's why it's non-self, empty, not you, not what you think. So all this understanding will actually trigger off the awakening. The mind just realizes itself and free. So the setting free of the mind is the first stage. Then after that only you start to cultivate the Noble Eightfold Path factor. Once you have the wisdom already, easy to cultivate Noble Eightfold Path factor already. Then the Noble Eightfold Path, they will just like become very easy to understand and very easy to develop, like what you have gone through, like you explained just now. When you start to have this ability to understand how you get yourself entangled and how your depression from the past, your misery, your suffering, how they actually arise through your own wrong thought and wrong view, delusion, then you start to improve yourself. The third and fourth right effort to refine upon and perfect the right thought, right speech, right action that are still not in you. You continuously do that. Then your livelihood also change, because it's based on Noble Eightfold Path understanding. With right view, you develop all the other path factors. Then after that, once your four right efforts stabilize, you become different. Then that time, you are able not only to avoid all evil, you can do a lot of wholesomeness, goodness. Then your blessing, your merits, your wholesomeness, all this, they will grow very fast and they will support you. Then you can invoke power of merits for causes and conditions to progress along the path of Dhamma, to help you to understand life, to live life, and to overcome whatever life-related situation and problem, and be a blessing to all. So all these are possible and become very beautiful. Then your mindfulness also will become more refined. As you progress, you develop more understanding. Then you can actually express it later on and share and help people. Then the stability of mindfulness leading to stability of samadhi will transform the cultivator again. And all this will show the path and the way so beautifully, vividly, clearly. That's why cultivator of the way who have the understanding, they will go through the same experience. Very good, Alicia. Sadhu.
好，to radio 的那个
阿拉
讲了，所以我就 end 我的 sharing， 因为我也明天要去新加坡，很早来，所以我今天没有来上课。
早一点睡啊，早一点睡。
感恩 radio 阿弥陀佛感恩。
Let us rejoice. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And let us share all this wholesomeness, starting with the Devas. Akasata cha bhumata deva naga mahindika punyang tang anumoditva chirang rakantu lokasasana ettavata cha amehi sampadan punya sampadan sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampati siddhya idang me nyatinang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo idang me nyatinang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo idang me nyatinang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo Deo sadukalena sasa sampati hetu cha vito bhavatu loko cha raja bhavatu dhammiko imina punyang kamena mame bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yawa nivana patiya sadhu sadhu sadhu. Okay, you all can now pay respect mindfully the Lord Buddha, Kuan Yin Bodhisattva, and all the worthy ones. Then we end the whole Zoom session. Sadhu, and thank you for your participation and good sharing. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.